Okay, so I think we'll call the regular meeting of Township Council for the purpose of a public hearing to order for Monday, April 15th, 2024. And of course, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, and in particular, our valued relationships with the Katzie, Kwantlen, Matsqui, and Semiahmoo First Nations. Mr. Richardson, as we get the preamble.
A public hearing is a statutory requirement under Section 464 of the Local Government Act and must be held before third reading of a community plan, land use contract amendment bylaw, heritage designation bylaw, or heritage revitalization agreement bylaw. During a public hearing, council acts in a quasi-judicial role for the purpose of allowing persons who believe their interest in property is affected by a bylaw, permit, or other matter to make representations to council, either orally, by written submission, or to add comments to or elaborate upon correspondence that may have already been presented to council concerning the bylaws. It is important to note that council is not able to receive any additional information on the bylaws following the public hearing as dictated by case law. The hearing procedure involves an explanation from the Community Development Division on the purpose of the proposed bylaws and to hear from individuals regarding the bylaws. In order to ensure that all interested parties have a reasonable opportunity to be heard, speakers are requested to keep representations as brief and succinct as possible and no longer than 5 minutes in duration, excluding the time required for questions from council. Speakers will be asked to state their name, neighborhood, and city for the record. And if referring to prepared remarks, to submit copies of these to the township clerk. Decorum must be always maintained. This includes refraining from applause, booing, or heckling. To assist with large numbers of speakers, individuals must advise the township clerk and sign the speakers list prior to the commencement of the public hearing. The names on the speakers list will be read out during the hearing. Individuals who have already addressed council and wish to add further submissions will wait until the people that have not yet addressed council have had an opportunity to speak. All submissions and speaker lists are considered part of the public record. Council members should not express their views nor debate the bylaws. However, they may question speakers to clarify particular points in their submissions. Council may consider third reading or third reading and final adoption at this meeting or at its next regular meeting. Thank you.
Great. Getting a motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Councillor Bailey, seconded by Councillor Rint. Call the question on A1. It carries unanimously. Mr. Richardson, item B1.
Thank you, Your Worship. The subject land use contract discharge application permits the underlying commercial C1 zone to govern land use on the site, allowing a proposed daycare use. The 0.34 acre site is designated regional commercial in the Willowbrook Community Plan and Willowbrook mixed use in the Langley Town Center Plan, and is regulated by Land Use Contract 74. This surf photo depicts the site located on the west side of 197th Street, north of Willowbrook Drive. Bylaw 5990 discharges Land Use Contract 74 on the subject site. Staff recommends support of Land Use Contract Discharge Bylaw 5990. Your Worship, there were a total of 682 notices mailed out. No written submissions have been received, and there were no individuals on the speakers list.
Great. Are there any submissions from the public for item B1? Overwhelmed by the public presence. Is there any submissions from the public on item B2? B1. B1. Is there any submissions from the public on item B1 for a third and final time? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing into item B1. Does anybody wish to move consideration of third reading? Moved by Councillor Rent, seconded by Councillor Bailey. Call the question on consideration of third reading. B1. That carries unanimously. Does anybody wish to move it? Moved by Councillor Pratt, seconded by Councillor Van Popta. Is there any discussion on third reading of B1? Seeing none, call the question on B1. That carries unanimously. Got a motion to terminate? Moved by Councillor Rent, seconded by Councillor Van Popta. All those in favor, opposed, carried. Thank you.